All right, let's talk about something every teacher knows all too well, that end of lesson slump. You know, when the energy just fizzles out? Well, today, we're diving into an awesome resource from We Live Books to show you how to gamify your recap and make that review time maybe the most exciting part of your class.
So does this sound familiar? You've just taught a brilliant lesson, you're feeling great about it, you ask the classic, "Any questions?" and crickets, right? Just total silence. The energy just drains out of the classroom. It's such a common problem, but what if we could completely change that?
Well, that's exactly the plan. We're going to take that end of class drag and turn it into something dynamic, engaging, and honestly, a whole lot of fun. Because the bridge from bored students to buzzing students is really built with one powerful tool, making it a game.
Okay, first up, let's dive into some games that are all about creative communication. These are designed to get students talking, to spark some real conversation, and just get them comfortable using the language without a ton of pressure. The goal is super simple. Let's get them talking.
So first on our list is a super simple one called Talking Prompts. Forget your standard, dry review questions. The whole point here is to use open-ended prompts to just build up their confidence. We do that by asking them about things they already know and have opinions on, so there's no wrong answer. It just gets them speaking freely.
And look, the secret sauce here is what you ask. We're not quizzing them on abstract grammar rules. We're asking about stuff they actually care about. You know, what chores do they hate? What's the one food they can't stand? Or how to cook their favorite meal? These are the kinds of topics that sparked genuine, interesting conversations.
Next up, we've got a fantastic activity called the picture game. This one is so good because it sharpens two skills at once: how well they observe things and how well they listen. It's incredibly easy to set up, but you get some really great results from it.
And the whole process is as easy as it looks here. Step 1, you show them a picture, but just for a few seconds. Step 2, you hide it. Step 3, you make a statement about the picture, something like, "The man was wearing a blue hat." And finally, step 4, they have to remember what they saw and shout out true or false. It's an amazing little workout for their memory and listening skills.
But wait, you can take this to the next level. Here's a great pro tip. Instead of you coming up with all the statements, flip it around. After they see the picture, have your students write their own true or false statements. It's a tiny change, but it turns them from just being passive listeners into being active creators in the game. It's a game changer.
Now, if you need a quick shot of energy in your classroom, this is it. Game 3, the 3 words game. This is all about rapid-fire word association that gets students thinking on their feet. What's really happening here is it's helping their brains make faster connections with vocabulary so they can recall words more automatically over time.
So here's how it works. You might start off with something simple, right? Name 3 things you can wear on your feet. Easy. But then you can level up the challenge with something like, name 3 things both students and teachers do. See, that takes a little more creative thinking. It's fun, it's fast, and it's just a brilliant way to review vocab.
All right, let's move on and tackle the big one, grammar. I know, for a lot of students, this can be the absolute driest part of learning a language. But it really doesn't have to be. So let's look at how we can make grammar a game and turn these core concepts into a fun challenge.
The tense challenge is a perfect example of this. Instead of a boring old drill, you just frame it as a yesterday versus today showdown. You can see it right here. Students get a sentence in the past tense, like, yesterday I was at school, and their job is to change it to the present. Today, I am at home. It's visual, it's got context, and it's so much more engaging than a worksheet. Okay, next up, the question word race. These little words, who, what, where, when, they're literally the building blocks of any conversation. This game turns practicing them into a really fast-paced challenge where students have to quickly form a good question based on a picture or a statement you give them.
And this is the key, right? You've got to add that game element. Don't just ask for questions, make it a race. Divide the class into 2 teams. Give them a sentence, and the first team to correctly ask a question with who or where gets the point. A little friendly competition can do wonders for their energy and focus.
And our last little grammar game is a simple one, but it's so useful. Quick intro practice. This is the perfect warm-up or cool-down. You just give them sentence starters about themselves to complete. It reinforces that basic sentence structure in a way that's personal and actually meaningful to them.
Okay, but let's be real. Even with the best plans, things can go wrong, especially if you're teaching online. So this next part is all about practical, pro-level tips for handling some of those common classroom hiccups.
And the solutions are actually pretty straightforward. If you've got a really small class, no problem. Just adapt the group games so one person can do them. If someone's got a bad internet connection and the audio is lagging, just switch over to the chat box for their answers. The key isn't having a flawless plan, it's being ready to adapt on the fly.
So, we've covered a ton of ground here, from creative conversation games to competitive grammar races, and even how to troubleshoot your class. Now let's just zoom out for a second and put all the pieces together. What's the one big idea that ties all these games together?
When you boil it all down, it comes down to this. We are shifting away from passive revision. We're moving from a classroom where students just sit there and absorb information to one where they're actually doing things. By turning the recap into a game, we get them thinking, speaking, competing, and creating. And that is when the learning really sticks.
And that really leads to this whole mindset, you know? The best teachers aren't just thinking about the activity. They're constantly reflecting. They're asking themselves, what worked well today, and how can I make it even better next time? These games are your toolkit, and the best teachers are always finding new and better ways to use their tools.
So, I'll leave you with this question. After hearing about all these ideas, from that quick-fire 3 words game to the competitive tense challenge, which one is sparking an idea for you? Which game are you going to try in your next class to bring some of this fun, playful energy to your students? I say, give it a shot.